We are test driving some new tow rig. Arguably, you know, the hardest rig on the lot here, but she is a wide-hipped, big, beautiful girl. Oh, yo, this thing has an aftermarket turbo in it. Get your camera out of my face. I'm trying to turn. Brother. That is nasty. Yeah, like I feel knuckles in my back right now. It's lit. Yo, are you kidding me? Cute I-8, little bro, what do you do? Sell a day trading course? This has to be one of the nastiest interiors that I have quite literally ever seen on a truck. I'd rather go buy a semi for around 50 and then we're probably gonna go in and talk about this L5P right here and see what they would give us for it on trade. What up guys? Welcome back to another video. We are jumping straight into the action today. As you can see, from the title of today's video, we are test driving some new tow rigs. Now, a lot of people know when I bought the Any Level, I was in the market for two things. One, Any Level, and two, like F450 slash like tow rig. So we pulled up to the boys at Watts and we're going to check out some rigs. Shit, who knows? Maybe if Brock forks out his 14 paychecks, then...
Sorry, I'll just use it on the card.
Bro, I had to flex the Louis V wallet. But yeah, maybe we'll go home with a rig today. Who knows? We'll just see where the day goes. But Watts always has some nasty dualies. Okay, hold on. Let's preface this real quick. At the beginning of this video, why we're already transponded to Watts is we filmed like 30 minutes of footage before this, but we got absolutely blue-balled on Facebook Marketplace. Let me show you this unit that we were looking at. I don't want to show the name or anything. We were gonna go look at this unit right here. Stretched, single slab, I guess they're all single slabs, but dude, this thing was nasty, okay? Freaking hit this dude up. I was like, hey, yo, like, can we come look at this thing? Because the price is like dialed on it. Yeah, it ended up being a scam. But yeah, so that's why we are now here. And obviously, like, we were planning on looking at semis and F450s and like a newer Denali today anyways, but we were gonna start it off looking at the semi. Yeah, got completely blue-balled. But, you know, what are you gonna do? Also, Jaren's truck is here. It's the guy who built my headlights for me on the Any Level. This thing is extremely nasty. 4th gen. It's got like quite a bit done under the hood. I have no idea how much it makes, but I'm just gonna say a random guess of like 700-ish. Watch just barely finished re-gearing it. The full thing is on air. I think it's like it's a one-of-one flight fab kit. It went to SEMA. Thing's absolutely nasty. Also, come here. Come here, turkey. Come here, turkey. If you guys saw last video, you'd know that we're getting the old squat rig turbo. Arguably, you know, the hardest rig on the lot here, but we won't talk about it. But there's a few trucks that we want to look at here. One being the first, let's just jump right into it. Now, there's a few trucks that we want to look at here. I'm at Watts all the time, so I kind of like know what they have in. First thing that we want to look at is this guy right here. To my knowledge, this is a 2019 F350, and it's got the F450 front end with like the flare conversion, like 22 front end, flog bumpers. This thing is extremely nasty. I think it's like 60,000 miles, 24-inch JTXs. It's on a full Wicked Customs lift, so track bars, 4-link, like overlays. It's got a fat ass hitch on the back, so we're gonna drive this, see how this drives, see our thoughts on this one, and then we want to look at a couple more rigs over here. Now, the next rig, I honestly never see us end up buying this, but this is Watts' shop truck. Imagine just having this as your shop truck. But yeah, this is their shop truck. Absolutely nasty. It's a 550 work bed, like the whole nine, like nasty work truck. Obviously it's their shop truck, so they probably don't want to sell it to us, for one. And two, the problem with F550s is they have a way higher gear ratio. So pretty much in 6th gear, 2,500 RPMs, towing on the freeway, you're going like 70, 75 miles an hour. We do the speed limit, so that's totally not a problem. But yeah, this is a nasty rig. Also, they have this in that I'm pretty sure they took it on trade. Personally, I would never buy a 6.4, especially to tow 2 trucks all the way across the country. Oh. But this thing's nasty. Obviously, like, needs a little bit of cleaning up, but it's just a trade-in. 24-inch Alcoas. Yeah, it is a 450. Honestly, nasty freaking trade. But you can see, like, they've got a solid line up of 450s. There also is King Ranch 450. This thing is absolutely nasty. Dude, the two-tone, the white and caribou brown two-tone has to be one of the nastiest things ever. And then another truck that I want to entertain looking at. Damn, that's dude, pan to the just straight line of Denali Ultimates / Denalis. This thing right here, this is a 2025 Denali Ultimate, 24-inch forces. So I want to compare this to a 450, and I just want to drive that 450 because it's badass. So let's go inside. I want to grab some keys to some stuff and go for a drive and give our honest thoughts. Grab some keys. Didn't even see this thing. Freaking Azure Blue Limited. Are those 28s? 28s, man. 38, 1350, 28s.
28s. Where you rule at?
Oh my. Love of loves. Yeah, that stuff is shit. Anyway, oh, dude, look at Brett's. Brett's the owner of Watts. He just got his new Paragon in. If you're unfamiliar with the boat world like myself, I don't know what this thing is. All I know is it literally costs more than my house. And it looks badass. Look at that thing. Damn. Anyways, we're gonna run in, grab some keys. I think we'll grab keys to the powdered, lifted 450 first. 350, I guess, and then we'll go from there. All right, well, we got some keys here, man. So we got keys to the Limited on 28s, that 350 on the JTXs, and this rig right here. We're just gonna, we'll start with the oldest one. We'll start with the oldest gal and work our way up. This thing's fire, like literally. I think it's deleted too. Oh, she's deleted. The only thing that I would change on this thing is the grill. This is obviously a trade-in. Yeah, honestly, I could probably hit, because like the surround of the grill is honestly sick. It's just, that is not my company. And let's go, get in, boy. Brother, this thing is legit. Custom interior. It's got a full custom seats, custom floor mats. What is it, a platinum? What even is this thing? Is it a platinum or is it a lariat? Okay. Loki was not expecting
platy.
Is it actually a platy?
On the floorboards.
No, it's a lariat. Honestly, this thing has enough platinum stuff to be a platinum. Dude, this thing is a freaking big mamma jamma, but she is clean. Upfitter switches. I feel like I'm just gonna hit one of these switches and the train horn's gonna go on. Beep, 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 beep. Darn it! 60,000 miles, yeah, legit. If we were to buy this thing, all it really needs is a cowl hood and a grill. And she's got full lock, no rubbing. The only downside is that if we were to have a tow rig this big, we would run into 2 issues. And one, it's not really an issue. We'd have to probably buy like a Doolittle or a custom Diamond C trailer with the adjustable necks, the ones that quite literally come lifted from the factory to accommodate the truck being so high, because this thing's on 40s. But honestly, other than that, like this thing's dialed, grill and a cowl hood, and she's good to go. Here's the real question. Do you think Dave Ramsey would approve?
Approved!
And you know what the other banger thing about this truck is? It's a 6-speed. Now, I have a 6-speed Illumi-Duty and I have a 10-speed Illumi-Duty, and personally, for what I would do to it, I would prefer the 6-speed. The 10-speeds are way smoother, but if you drop a 10-speed, like if you smoke your 10-speed transmission, you are absolutely cooked because you can't really build them, so you kind of just, it's like stock trans or nothing. Anyways, you can build the balls out of these 6-speeds, and they're nasty transmissions. So, honestly, it's a bonus for me that it is a 6-speed. This thing is a big girl. She is a wide-hipped, big, beautiful girl. Dude, low-key, these seats might be more comfy than like regular platinum seats.
Holy God.
Oh, yo. This thing has an aftermarket turbo in it. You hear that? We should pull over and see what turbo there is in this, because that is not a stock turbo, brother. That is whistly as hell. I don't think it's an S300. It's probably just like a drop-in, but brother.
That might be an S300.
Yo, this thing is nasty. Obviously, like, I didn't get into it, but that sounds... Okay, pull up. We're pulling over.
I can't pull over, brother.
Yeah, here, pull it over. Pull it over, Cole. Yo! Dude. This rig is nasty. Get up in. Dude, flywheel. Borg-Warner S300. Yo, this thing is nasty.
It's meant to be.
Oh, screw the AC. And this AC is mad cold too. I'd rather listen to this turbo, man. Damn. When I started this thing at the dealership, it sounded like a stock turbo. Because the Limited has an S300 in it, like this, full piping kit, and it does not sound like that. This thing was like here on my rate scale, but it probably just went up to here. That probably means it has a built trans too. There's no way that whoever owned this thing dumped this much money into the truck and didn't put a trans in it.
She's clean, too.
This is a nasty rig. And obviously you can't tell on camera, this thing drives. Get your camera out of my face. I'm trying to turn. Dude, don't make me pull a Gabe Farrell on Reaper Media right now, buddy. Dude, this is a nasty rig. Wow, this thing is straight out like a 9 out of 10 truck. It would be a 10 out of 10 if it had a boosted wheel and tire grill and a cowl hood. We could make that happen pretty easy. Yeah, cute L5P, little bro. Imagine owning an L5P. Damn. Wow. Obviously, I'm not gonna stick my foot to the floor because this is not my truck and that's just not how life works. But from a settle acceleration, I'm gonna say 3 things. 1, this thing rides extremely good. Partially, I'm gonna say that is because it's a 350, not a 450, so it has smaller springs. 2, it's got like a probably $10,000 to $15,000 lift kit and shocks, which adds a solid bit here, but just have a listen. Obviously, I'm not gonna stick my foot to the floor because this is not my truck. This thing's nasty. Yeah, this thing does sound better than Frosty. And it doesn't smoke at all because it has a DPF.
Got him!
Oh my gosh, wow.
I'm gonna come.
We're gonna take this thing back to Watts and grab the next rig. Oh my, just listen to it. We're gonna take this thing back to Watts and grab the next rig before we just quite literally don't want to drive anything else because this thing's so nasty. Wow, that was mildly unexpected. That thing gets like 50 big booms on the boom scale.
Boom, 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 boom!
It looks that good, sounds that good, and low-key, it's priced pretty good. Anyways, we're gonna change it up real quick, and we're going to drive the, I honestly don't know what dually they gave us, but they said, here, take this one. This one's nasty. This is a 2025 GMC Denali Ultimate, and obviously it's stock because you can't delete these, which is kind of a downside, at least for me, not being able to delete it. But like, this is gonna sound like a crazy opinion here. I personally think that the front ends and looks of the new GMC Denalis is arguably harder than the newer F450s, in my opinion. Now, when these trucks first came out, I drove one of these trucks in a single rear wheel on like a 6-inch kit at a lot less quality dealership that is up north in Salt Lake, and it drove like absolute ass. But the homies at Watts know how to build some damn good trucks, so let's just hop into this. Brother, that is nasty. Yo. Yo.
Suede?
Okay, yeah. This thing is legit. This thing really is all that. Brother.
No, the room back here is not
Straight up, just look at the interior, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, I did not even know that they did these on these trucks. Wow, this video is just full of surprises. I was not expecting that F350 to be that nasty. I was not expecting this interior to be this nasty. This sounds crazy, but I would put this up damn close, if not better, than a new F450 King Ranch interior.
Stop the cap.
Oh, and it's got massage. We can test out what massage is better. The massage in... Wow, we sound so privileged right now. We can test out if the massage in the Denali Ultimate is better or the massage in the Limited is better. Wow, that actually hits. The any level massage does not hit that hard. Dude, these are just some big hipped girls. Some big booty Judies. Now, already, thoughts here. The turn radius on this truck is miles better than the turn radius on that truck. Now, pretty much the reason for that is this is, to my understanding, like GM's version of a 450, which they just have more turn radius than the 350s. But the turn radius on this thing is actually crazy. And it's got full lock. I don't know why it wouldn't have full lock. It's a Watts Automotive truck, so obviously it will have full lock, but this is kind of a nice change of pace, having full lock. Where's Kira Boatwright at, bro? With the hand engraving. Kira Boatwright, is that you? Brock, do you have thoughts on this rig?
I gotta get out on the road first, because the back seat, you really feel everything here. One, the interior on the Fords are definitely a lot bigger.
Low-key can't relate. I'm getting a massage up here.
I don't know.
This massage low-key hits.
I'm getting a massage
like,
back
it
here
is
too.
getting in there. You know, like the black mall chairs, like the chairs at the mall that give you a massage? It's low-key like that. Like, I feel knuckles in my back right now. It's lit.
God damn.
What does that do? Yo, are you kidding me? That has got to be one of the sickest features on a truck. Look, there is a button. Wow. GM has come a long way. A button for all the windows. Look, I hit this. Oh, wait, does it not go? Hold on, let me put the windows back up. Okay, still, that is sick as hell. Why they wouldn't make it go back up is kind of beyond me. But look, I press that button. All the windows roll down. That is sick. I did not know that that was a thing. Wow. Low-key, that gets 5 hella big booms.
Boom, 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 boom.
Something that I can tell too is the steering wheel on this is a lot smaller than the steering wheel on the Ford that we just drove, which I kind of like, honestly. It reminds me of like a 1500 like half-ton steering wheel, which if you put in the centrifugal mass, then technically it would be easier to turn this truck because the steering wheel is smaller. Science. Something that this truck has that the other truck that we just drove does not have is a heads-up display. What's the MSRP on that unit? Holy shit! That is actually wild. The window sticker on this truck is $135,000. And that's not even including the nice-ass lift kit on this truck, the paint match on this truck, and the probably $15,000 wheels and tires that this truck has. That's crazy. I didn't even know you could have that high of an MSRP. No lie, that might be slightly outside the budget that we're going for here, but we have to wrap our head around all the ideas. This thing rides really good though. Here's the thing about Brock, bro. Brock always says that whatever he's driving, he's like, the steering wheel shakes, or it's shaky. It's literally never shaky. And he drives an F-150, by the way.
F1 drives like a Cadillac.
F-150 XLT owner back there.
And it drives like a Cadillac.
Oh, hell no.
Dude, this leather is low-key legit. BMW i8, cute i8, little bro. What do you do?
Slam them brakes.
Sell a day trading course?
Got him!
I forgot this thing's not tinted. Okay, now something I will say about this is there is a lot of dead pedal. Like, from accelerating, I feel like I have to put my foot like halfway into the throttle for it to get going, and then all of a sudden it just like kicks in, which is just a thing on GMC Denalis, but it is slightly annoying. Like, there's a lot of dead pedal in the pedal, if that makes sense. This thing really does ride really good. Obviously, for the amount of money that you would pay for this truck, you would hope it would ride good, but when you're buying a dually at the same time, you can't really expect it to ride super good. I'm honestly impressed. I can change everything on the digital dash. It tells me my RPMs, the speed limit, and the speed that I'm going. There's like everything on here. And I'm actually a huge fan of the long style big screen, as well as obviously as the digital dash. I'm actually shocked on these windows. That's actually the sickest thing ever. I'd roll down the windows, but it's kind of dusty over here. Wow, we are lost in the sauce right now. Hey Jarvis, take me right.
Jarvis, make her 4 feet tall with a feisty attitude, please.
I'd say braking in this thing's like a solid 8 or 9. Looks, in my opinion, is like a 9.5. All it needs to like complete the look is like a little bit of paint match and probably some built headlights. Driving wise, this thing drives like a 10. When you rate the drivability and ride quality of a truck, you have to look, there's 2 factors, okay? 1 is the looks, and 2 is me. And I give this thing a 10 on the rideability, honestly. I have no idea where I was going with that, but this thing, ride-wise, is a 10. Overall, this whole truck is like a 9.5. The F450 that we just drove is a 9. If I were to compare this truck to the last one without comparing the price, they would both be 10s. Now, obviously, I am incorporating price into this as well, because the F450 that we just, or the F350 we just drove is quite literally half the price of this one. But this thing, in my opinion, is like a solid 9.5 truck. The 350 we just drove is like a solid 9.0 truck. I don't even want to get out of this thing. It's so comfortable. Like, I just want to sit in it. But we're going to take this thing back to Watts and check out the last rig that we were driving, which is a 450. Possibly looking at trading in the L5P, or potentially again selling the L5P and getting a tow rig. Now, I'm at the point where I have, in my opinion, too many vehicles that if I bought another one, there would be no point. Like, if I just bought another one outright, I would want to sell one of the vehicles that I currently have if I was going to buy another one, which, in my opinion, the vehicle that has the least amount of worth left to me is the L5P. No hate against the L5P. It's just, I think it's been such a fat pain in my ass that I don't really care to keep it anymore. As badass of a truck that it is, okay? It gapped Riley's 3G. And that's honestly all I could ever ask for. So enough yabbering. We're going to go back to Watts and park this thing, check out the other 450, and collect our final thoughts, and maybe look in the traded numbers in the L5P. Something else we just found out, the steps coming out on this is a lot more delayed than the Fords. I opened the door and hopped out and quite literally just ate shit. Knees straight to the asphalt. Now, the last rig that we are going to drive here is, so many keys, so much goodness in my hand right here. It's a 2024 Ford F450 Limited on 28 inch JTXs. Also, can we talk about the fact real quick that Brett's the owner of Watts, super cool dude. We left on that test drive probably 45 minutes ago, and by the time we got back, his brand new boat that quite literally cost more than my house already has new wheels and tires. What the? That's what I said. This thing's sick. It's on, oh, it's the high output too. High output. This thing appears, it's probably on like a 3-inch Wicked kit. No track bars, because usually you don't do track bars. Yeah, it's a striker. It's a striker kit. Such a fire truck. BMS off-road. All right, get in, boys. Can we talk about this interior? Holy balls. Brother man. 16,000 miles on this hog. This has to be one of the nastiest interiors that I have quite literally ever seen on a truck. Wow, 148th one produced. This thing is a freaking beaut. Now, a fat question mark here, at least for me, is owning a tire shop. Is the last truck we drove was on 24-inch Forces and 37-inch Toyos. This is on 28-inch JTXs and 37-inch Furies. So, hypothetically, the last truck should drive better, especially because this is a 450, so it has bigger springs, like bigger leaf packs in the rear. And this thing has 28 miles till empty. So we are going to be some good test drivers here and go put fuel in this rig. In my personal opinion, if you're test driving a vehicle at a dealership and there's not very much fuel in the rig, like this has 28 miles till empty, then you know what? Are you shitting me? What are you doing? Holy shit, this thing's got turn radius for days. Damn, this thing, all right, turn radius wise, the 350 that we first drove has the worst turn radius. The Denali that we just drove has really good turn radius, but this is like, I don't even know what to compare this to. This thing has some crazy ass turn radius. But anyways, back to what I'm saying. If you're test driving a vehicle at a dealership and it's low on fuel, just go put like 20 bucks in it. They're going out of their way to let you test drive their vehicle. Now, if you're buying it, then that's kind of a different story. That, yeah, they'll probably fill it up for fuel for you if you're buying a $140,000 truck. But, you know, if you're just test driving a vehicle to get a feel for things and be in the market and involve yourself in driving the vehicle, then you know what, be a good civilian and throw 20 bucks in the tank. And don't give the truck back to them on a CP4 with 25 miles to the gallon. Anyways, we're gonna throw 20 bucks in this thing because we're good people. All right, now that we got some fuel in this unit, let me, while it's in front of me, the heads-up display in this truck is, in my opinion, better than the GMC. I can see the time, my mile per hour, the speed limit, and the temperature. So the heads-up display has more options than the GMC does, to my knowledge. Has more turn radius than the GMC. Not to my knowledge, I know that for fact. And honestly, we haven't like really divulged into how good this thing drives, but from the half mile that we have driven this thing so far, it drives very impressively for one, being on 28s, and two, being an F450. This thing is priced like it has 160,000 miles. It is priced at like $125,000, which might sound extremely steep, but go on and search up 2024 F450 Limited on 28s, and there's gonna be a dealership in New Jersey that pulls up that has this same truck for $170,000. Honestly, for what this truck is, it is very nicely priced. But you have to look at it this way. This thing has like almost $25,000 to $30,000 just in the wheel and tires, and it's priced at $124,000, $125,000. Anyways, in my opinion, this truck is a great deal. Still, I think slightly out of the price range that I ideally want to spend on a tow rig. Still a very badass truck. Now, where I'm getting at here is if I'm spending $130,000 on a truck, in my opinion, I'd rather go buy a nice badass semi, because, you know, I'm a CDL driver. I'd rather go buy a semi for around 50 and a trailer for another 30 to 40 than this. But the upside of buying a 450 or something similar is I can drive it every day, because I do tow like almost every day. So the upside of that is I can tow with it almost every single day, versus you can't daily drive a semi truck. Okay, despite what freaking Gabe Farrell says about driving his 45-foot long semi truck every day, you can't daily drive your semi truck, guys. Okay, but just from driving this thing 5 minutes, this thing drives extremely nice. Now, it does ride a little bit rougher than the GMC. It doesn't ride as cush. It's a little more kind of rigid than the GMC was, but that's for two main reasons. One, this thing is on 28s and 37s, which is rubber bands. And for two, this is a 450 versus the GMC is a 3500. So pretty much this thing comes with a bigger axle, way bigger brakes, way bigger leaf springs in the back, and I think some more like beefed up things in the front end. And the more beefed up you go, the lesser on ride quality that you get. Now, after driving this truck for probably 15 minutes, looks wise, in my opinion, this thing's getting like a solid 9.1. It would be more if one had paint matched heads, and for two, I'm a big polished wheel guy. If these wheels were polished, which you could change pretty easily by just stripping and having a polished guy polish them. Ride quality is probably like an 8.5 for me. For what it is, it's probably closer to 9. I personally like the way the GMCs look better than the F450s, but for what this thing is, it's probably a solid 8.9 on the look scale, an 8.5 on the ride scale. But the interior on this thing low-key breaks the scale. The interior on this thing is like an 11 out of 10. This is, in my opinion, the hardest interior to ever be put in a truck. Like the baby blue with the light like gray/white is absolutely nasty in my opinion. But we're gonna pull into Watts, park these things next to each other, so we can kind of capture an overall view of everything that we're looking at. And then we're probably gonna go in and talk about this L5P right here and see what they would give us for it on trade. So who knows what will happen in the next 20 minutes. All right, well, as you can see, we're back at the lot. Now, we have all three lined up next to each other. So we have F450 on 28s, unknown S300, 19 Lariat F350, and the 25 Denali Ultimate. Now, in my subtle opinion, for the price, this one is half the price as these other two, which I'm a half price kind of guy. So I don't know, for the price, this is the truck that I'm leaning towards, but I want to hear what all of you guys have to say. I want to hear input from everyone. So comment down below, if there was no budget in mind, what one of these trucks are you taking and why? But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
Did you get that?
I did it.
Fell my knee.